guys, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to the Cinematic Reviewer. Today I'm reviewing Toy Story 5. So if you can see here, I have a nice little Toy Story shirt. I have Woody and Jessie. So I'm a big fan of Toy Story. I love Toy Story 1 and 2 so much. I have so much fun with those movies. It was really great to watch Toy Story 1 at the theater for its anniversary last year. That was a great time. 3 I've always had a problem with, but I did do a rewatch after I watched Toy Story 5, and I was kind of more able to see what it was going for, the proper messaging, and seeing the character integrity and development of the story was very well done. So I was like, okay, it still doesn't work for me. I don't like to see these characters I know and love suffer, but I see why it's well regarded. Toy Story 4, I definitely remember seeing that. I had just graduated high school in 2019, went to see it, was kind of like, this is not going the way of the regular Toy Story movies, but it's still it was a movie I watched, it was fun enough, I guess, but I definitely was like, wow, that movie had so many flaws. So I can't remember everything about that time because now it's 7 years ago, but I know that I didn't have a strong reaction to that movie. So going into Toy Story 5, it's like, again, you're gonna do it again when it already had its natural end, and yes, they did. And it was kind of funny to see the teaser for this stuff, because it's like, oh, we've done this before. The whole thing with Forky, that whole teaser that they did for Toy Story 4, it's like, oh man, they're doing it again. We're just going more money. I want more money, and it's working. I'm pretty sure they already said this is the biggest opening for a movie in 2026, so they got what they wanted, so way to go us, not. Going into this movie, I didn't have the highest of expectations, but if they could do a fun job, if they could make it a good time, I'd be down. And I have to say, they did not. I am bummed out for Jessie, because I really enjoy Jessie. I think she's a great character. I really enjoy her. But if anything, contrary to some people's negative opinions on Toy Story 5, that they're like, oh, well, Woody and Buzz were so sidelined here. And I do agree with that, but I don't think that has to be, every Toy Story movie has to solely focus on them. I don't think that, but I think that Jessie deserved a way better story, a way better script. She's a great character, and it's too bad that they kind of gave her this. And another thing that I do have a problem with Toy Story 5, they were so weak on the message of, because they could have made it more of relying so much on technology is dangerous. Certainly at that age, of Bonnie's age, she should not have this ridiculously unlimited access to tech that is just not good. I myself, as a 25-year-old, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am definitely a little bit too addicted to using my phone, using my screens. I gotta get off of this thing. Meanwhile, look at these poor kids. There's proper things that are supposed to happen in the developmental stages for a kid, and they're not getting those opportunities. So it would have been nice if this message would have been stronger. And again, there's a lot here that it was never gonna do that. It's a corporate project. There's plenty of people out there that think that just moderation, and that's all you need to worry about. And it's definitely more than that. Not to mention, losing out on so much privacy, how bad this is getting for our brains, our attention spans, all sorts of things. It would have been nice if they could have had a stronger message. And what disappoints me is the number of people that are like, wow, the message here was so great. Good job, Toy Story 5. And it's like, again, I question the general population, how they see things. Have you been paying at all attention to proper criticisms of tech and what should stop being so normal? I guess not. To try and say that this was some great message and was such a strong message, and it's like, dude, it was so weak-willed, it was so medium, it's like moderation. I was like, wow, what a concept. thought of that before. Like, you should have been stronger with this. Also, it made me feel a lot like the previous Pixar movie, Hoppers. Now, I still have to talk about Hoppers. I will be talking about it very soon. Hoppers, it was gonna be more of a strong environmental message. And it's already been established behind the scenes that Disney definitely, you know, like the heads of the company much more were making it so it was going to be much more medium, barely an environmental message. And again, that's kind of exactly what happens. The fact that it's like, yeah, they're still going to build the road, it's just not going to be there. Guess what? That's going to destroy more of the environment. Like, just because it's not the one that affects you, like, come on, people. It is a problem that's currently happening with Pixar. I know a lot of people say it's a very strong Disney infiltrating Pixar, making the very big deal decisions, eliminating a lot of things that the Pixar creatives were going to do. So maybe that is the case. Maybe it is. They're really trying to neutralize it, and then the quality starts going down. Regardless, it could have still been fun, and I don't feel like it was fun. I felt like the story meandered a lot. The fact that it seemed like it was, maybe not, I wasn't having the best time at the beginning, but I was still like, okay, let's see what you guys got. And then we get to Jessie and Bullseye, you know, they have to go back to that home. The good thing is that it did have plot relevancy, but it took a long time to get there. And I do disagree on the other tech characters, not Lily Pad, the other tech characters. I found them very annoying. We had a lot of very cheap baby kind of humor jokes, and that's disappointing because Toy Story is well known for some very good smart jokes. And I know in general, we have very different creatives in charge of Pixar right now, so it's not like we were going to get the same level of quality. However, it's a shame what they've done to Toy Story. I wanted to have fun with this, and I just didn't. Like, the buzzes. I did not have fun with that. I thought it was really silly. The only plot relevancy that had is at the very end, because then they have to get off of this truck, use the drones, and I was like, really? It's disappointing. I did not appreciate the Bambi scene, the fact that they had the music starting, and then they had the part where, you know, Bambi's mom gets shot and everything. That part, that music comes into play, and I'm like, dude, this does not warrant it. And I'm tired of the self-referential things that Disney is doing, whether it infiltrates Pixar, whether it infiltrates their own animation. Zootopia 2. That is something I did not appreciate in Zootopia 2. The level of self-referential jokes they did was frustrating. In addition to the self-referential jokes, they also have something where Blaze, you know, the character that lives where Emily used to live, there's a little picture, and it's from her as a youngster at Disneyland. Every time it has to be something that relates to Disney brand. It's like, I don't go and say, hey, look at that. It's only okay if it's some other corporation doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's an advertisement if you're doing it yourself. And that's very frustrating. Now, I was disappointed. Like I'm saying, I have no problem with Jessie being the main character. I wish she got a better story. But I will say it was a disappointment for Woody. I love Woody. I think he's a great character. I have a lot of fun with his character. It is too bad what happens here. Pretty much the only screen time he gets is when they're like, wow, you're balding. Wow, you're old. You're pudging out. And it's like, you could have just left him out entirely. And I don't want that to be the case for them to leave Woody out. But it kind of shows that, because they talked about it, that originally Woody wasn't going to be in this movie. But then they're like, maybe we should. Maybe we should put him in here. And it's so obvious. The script was done, and then they just wedge him in there. And it's like, we could see how messy this was. We could see the fact that it was never supposed to be like this. It was never supposed to be him being back. And again, I am opposed for him not being a part of it, but considering how it would have been way more respect to his character to not have him there. And I've seen a lot of people talk about the fact that the reason why they had to bring him back is the fact that if you don't have Woody there, less people are going to come to the movie. And all the advertisements, all the teasers, all the trailers, they put a lot of emphasis on Woody. And again, he's barely in the movie. And he doesn't add anything to it, which is a shame because I, again, very much enjoy Woody. Another thing too, I do agree with people that Buzz, he was already getting very dumbed down in Toy Story 4, so it's not like they haven't done this already. But he was ridiculous in here, so meek and like, oh, and it's like, yes, Buzz has been nervous about talking to Jessie, fully being there, but we already saw he had a little bit more confidence in Toy Story 3. So now it's 2 movies later, he could have had a much better experience. And I don't agree with people that, oh, well, they feminized him. I do agree that they really changed his character, but it is interesting the kind of people that are upset about Buzz, but then they wouldn't have any problem if it was a female character, and it's like, yeah, I know what you're doing. You only have a problem if it's a male character. So whatever. I do disagree how they treated Buzz, but again, it wouldn't be the worst thing if Jessie was the main focus. I just wish she got a better story. I very much enjoyed Joan Cusack. I definitely have enjoyed her in more than just Toy Story, like Kitt Kittredge, the American Girl movie with Abigail Breslin. My gosh, she is so fun in that. I definitely want to do a rewatch of that movie because I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to see her being good again. So I definitely want to rewatch that, but I'm bummed out. I do wish this story could have been better. And the thing is that, yeah, in a way, Jessie is the main character, but there's so many things going on, so many other characters, not to mention that they sideline all the side characters that we've enjoyed so much from Toy Story 1 through 3. They already did that in 4, so again, this is still what they've been doing, and they're gonna keep doing it, I guess. But it's like, those are the characters we like. How about you keep following them? And the problem is, you can't go and say, why be opposed to new characters? If they were good, I wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, I'm bummed to have them not be primary in the movie, but these characters are cool. No, these new characters are not fun. So I just wanted to share my Letterboxd review. Not the biggest fan of Toy Story 5. Some parts were sweet and genuine, but it is a subpar addition to the franchise. I did think it was good that Bonnie and Blaze, it was clear that they are much more close in hand, they should be hanging out together, and it was sweet that they actually got to properly play, but I don't think it's accurate to try and be like, now the tech is fine at that age, that young age, so that you can hang out with someone that's a little bit living farther away. The number of times, it's interesting how tech can be talked about as if it's going to be all about connection. There's so many things, they've done studies on this, so many things that no one's doing it anymore of the ages where most of your life has been consumed by technology. So to try and say that, oh, it's going to have real life connections, maybe it will. It is far less likely than actually trying to pursue that in real life. Whatever the case, I'm disappointed in how they went with this. I definitely did not have a good time, which is unfortunate. I wanted to at least have fun with this, but I didn't find any of the jokes funny. I definitely witnessed in my theater plenty of people laughing up a storm, and I'm talking adults, probably my age, probably older, and it's like, how are you laughing at that? Also, I highly disagree with the PG rating for this. Why they couldn't let something stay PG. Again, it reminded me so much of Hoppers. There's some really trashy, low-hanging fruit humor. Same thing in Toy Story 5. Like, a lot of poop humor. That was annoying. I don't like bathroom humor, and it was frustrating to get because, again, Toy Story has a solid reputation of good, smart jokes. So we really didn't need this. And the fact that they were 2 seconds away from saying the actual ass word, I was like, again, if this was in DreamWorks, if it was in Illumination, it'd be like, yeah, this is par for the course, whatever. But the fact that it's Disney, that it's Pixar, it's like, you guys fell off so hard. So it's a shame. It is a shame. But I did want to go ahead and share, I did go to see it in Dolby on the first day, so let me go ahead and share this that I got. So it is the buzzes, as you can see. Hopefully I got this. Hopefully the camera is focusing properly. And then on the back, it's kind of cute. And that reminds me too, I did not care at all for this whole thing of the sheriff badge on Jessie. The fact that they're like, Star Command, that the buzzes are like, Star Command. And I was like, no. Again, I think movies like this, you had to be down with it. You're gonna be fine with everything happening. And if you're like me, and you're not down with what's happening, you're just like rolling your eyes, you're over it. You want to enjoy yourself, but you're just not because the quality is so low. So again, it is frustrating that this is how it went down for Toy Story 5. I will do my best not to watch Toy Story 6 because I think they've already said they're definitely doing it. And I will say, Toy Story 5, I wasn't going to see it, but I have A-list. And it was a good way for me to vet for my parents because my mom wanted to see it. She thought it was going to be a very solid tech message. I knew it wasn't going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be. So at least I was able to do that for my parents. Be like, don't go to see it, you know? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment below, and if you liked this video and would like to see more movie content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time. Bye!